Hey everyone, it's Eric with firearmtutorials.com, and today we're going to talk about squib rounds. I'm going to give you some information about what they are, and then I'm going to make a couple of them, fire them through a couple different guns so you can see the result, and then I'll show you how to fix a squib round. So for those of you who don't know, a squib round is basically just a bullet that is loaded with usually no powder or very little powder. Now the way this happens is you either run out in your powder drop, or something happens to where your powder drop's not working, it gets clogged up with something, or some strange malfunction will cause it just not to drop powder or not to drop the right amount of powder, so you'll have either very little or none. If you've got, say half of the charge you're usually used to, that's generally enough to at least get the bullet out of the barrel, and then you'll usually have to manually cycle the slide, depending on what kind of gun you're to eject the case, because there won't be enough force to operate the slide and eject the shell. Like I said, here we have a cartridge just with no powder at all, so then the bullet would be seated down in there, and the only inertia that is used to get this bullet to leave the case would be the primer itself, which obviously is meant for igniting the powder, not for propelling a projectile. So let's go ahead and make a couple of them. Okay, so I've got a couple cases put in here. We're going to drop them in here, deprime them. There goes the first one. Now I've seated the primer there. So if we take this out, you can see the primer seated there. We're going to set it off to the side, deprime the next one, seat it. So now we've got two cases with primers. Now we'll go ahead and skip the powder drop station and we'll move directly to seating the bullet. Okay, so now in this case, we're going to put the shell right in there. Again, there's no powder in this at all, so we're going to go ahead and seat the bullet, put the next one in here, seat the bullet. Okay, so this is going to be our first test. USP Tactical with a squib. So here we go. That was it. You see the gun's noticeably hard to get open, if I can even do it. There it goes. So you see we've got the shell here, and the bullet is still lodged in the barrel. We'll take a look at that one shortly. All right, so here's the same setup, a squib in the UMP. Now notice that the actual bolt doesn't move at all. Got a little bit of sound out of it, but not much. See, there's a little bit of smoke coming out here. Okay, so you saw from the footage, there was definitely a significant difference in the sound and operation of both weapons with a squib round. I had a shotgun mic pretty close to both weapons to get as good a sound as I could out of those. The barrel on the USP made a really funny sound. The UMP, it actually did move the bolt a little bit, which I didn't think it would, but it was a little bit louder in that one. These are the shells. I don't know why the one from the UMP ended up being so dirty. This was the one from the USP. I mean, the result is still the same. If you look down in these barrels, you'll see the bottom of the round there. So if I go ahead and stick a cleaning rod through here, there you go. We're not going to get anywhere. Same result with the USP. You can see it a little better there. That's the back of the bullet. It's a little dirty from the remnants of the primer there. So that's what you're dealing with. Now, of course, the danger is if I hadn't known any better and just rechambered a live round behind one of these, it probably would have seated because the bullet went enough to where it hit the rifling and then stopped. But if I were to fire another round behind one of those, then obviously I'd be in some trouble and potentially a dangerous situation. With removing these guys, I mean, they didn't go very far. You see, they basically just went until they hit the rifling. So I'm just going to stick a cleaning rod down in here, and shouldn't take much force to get these guys out. You want to make sure you're doing this carefully because I don't want to scratch up the rifling in there, but so now we've obviously got a clean bore and the bullet. So you see, if we look at this guy closely, there's some actual striations from the barrel. Some a little more pronounced than others. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the UMP barrel. This one's got a different type of feed ramp, so I have to do this one a little carefully, but the result is still the same with these squib rounds. You're going to have to bang them out of the barrel. In most cases, it's easier to bang them out the bottom because they don't go near as far down the end of the barrel. So if we look at this one, similar result. We've got some striations, a little more pronounced on this one. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'll reload these bullets. I mean, these are just for plinking, so there's nothing wrong with them at all other than the fact that they're a little dirty. But that's it for squib rounds, guys. I just wanted to give you a look at you know, what it's like when you actually fire one, so that if you ever get into a case like this, you will recognize it before you do any damage to your gun or yourself. I will say that squibs are extremely, extremely rare in factory loaded ammo. Obviously, you saw me make these myself on purpose, but you know, if you reload long enough, you'll probably get into a situation where you'll make at least one squib load, so just something to be aware of. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and thanks for watching.